Hey, welcome back to Cam Gorilla. Today I'm going to show you how to turn these into this in 5 minutes or less. Think I can do it? Stick around to find out. So to start with, what you're going to need is 2 beer cans, a pair of scissors that can cut through the aluminum in the beer cans. That's basically any scissor. A pair of needle nose pliers, a marker, and some sort of a pin. Oh, and one more thing, you'll need a book, something to measure the height of the marking on the can with. So we're going to cut the bottoms off of both of these cans, and one part that's going to be the bottom of the stove is going to be a little bit shorter, and the other part that's going to be the top of the stove is going to be a little taller. You'll see that in a minute. So we're going to start by marking a line about 1.25 inches up the side of this can. That's about right. And then just cut this bottom part off here. Come up close to the line. It's better if you hold this tab right here when you're cutting. Keep it out of the way of the back of the scissor. Great. Now we'll do a similar thing with the other can, except we'll make it just a little bit higher. So again, use our trusty book. This time we're going to add a little height to it with this matchbook. I'm going to give it about an extra 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch here. There we go. We'll cut this one out too. Great. Now the shorter piece that goes on the bottom, we'll just use this pair of needle nose pliers to kink it all in. Now you want to stay about 1/4 inch away from the bottom. If you get too close to the bottom and you kink like that, it will cause potentially little holes to form from the edge of your pliers. So give it a little bit of breathing room and about 1/4 inch there. Don't be too violent, just give them a little kink over. If you can find a pair of pliers that doesn't have a square end like this, more like a round end, that would be better, because this has a little sharp edge that wants to dig into the can and potentially cause a hole there. There we go. That should just slide over there. Now I kind of want this top part to push all the way down against the tabletop here. That'll give a nice seal around the bottom. Close enough. Now, because I made this bottom part a little shorter, it should only come to about here on the inside of this upper can. So I can poke holes all around this rim here without it going through the second layer. And the reason I'm bending these over a little bit as I'm going is because I don't want the flames to come straight out. I want them to come out at a bit of an angle, potentially stay underneath that pot that would be on top of it for a little while longer before spreading out to the sides. Don't know if it's actually going to work, but it's a theory. Probably could have tested that bottom part for leaks before I put it together. Went through all this effort, but whatever. Now, the final piece is just to put a few holes in through the top here. These will be the alcohol filling holes. Somehow the aluminum's a bit thicker here. Some good engineering going on there from the aluminum can makers. I guess that's where it needs to be stronger to hold the pressure. All right, got a nice set of filler holes there now. I'm just filling this up with methyl hydrate. You get that at any hardware store. Doesn't look like the bottom one's leaking yet, so that's a good sign. That would be the stove spirits. Get it? Spirits. Having a bit of spillage is not a tragedy, as you'll soon see here. There, you can tell that's full because if I tip it over a bit, it's leaking out from the top of the inside layer and coming out between the two layers here. All right, I'm going to give her a start. And this alcohol that's laying around there on the surface of this tin is actually going to do a bit of a job of heating up the alcohol inside the stove so it gets going a little easier. And there we go, one working stove. I'll turn the lights off so you can see it. Now what happens is the heat from the flames heat the alcohol inside the can, cause the alcohol to in effect boil, and the alcohol vapor that's coming off pushes itself out through those holes, and that's what's burning. Doesn't look like there's a hell of a lot happening under there. Once you look in here, see it's bringing that little couple cups of water to a boil fairly rapidly. I mean, if you put it on a camp stove, a real camp stove, it'll be quite a bit quicker, but... Well, I hope you can make some use out of that video, or at least enjoyed the little project. If you want to see more about what I'm up to, DIY, projects, travel, whatever kind of interests me, might interest you as well, give the channel a little snoop. And don't forget to mash that like button and maybe even subscribe and hit that bell for future notifications. See you next time. Cheers. Oh, and keep creating, because someone's gonna love it.